We have a surprise leader at the top of the table over in Italy, and it's not one of the big boys. Who am I talking about? We're going to get into it. All of it next. That's right, folks, back once again in another video. Today is match number 5 over in Serie A, and we'll get to that in a second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe button. You want to stop shop for Serie A is right here under one Ruski. Yes, new name at the top of the table, and it's a surprising one, maybe even a refreshing one. That's right, as the big boys took a bit of a stumble, that's right. But we'll get into all of that in a minute. Of course, if you're new, subscribe, smash a like, and a big shout out to the VIPs, the patrons. You know who you are. And again, the members, who of course have been joining in the past couple of weeks. So respect to those. But we are going to jump into the deep end now to take a little look back at last weekend's action and to showcase who is currently sitting top of the table. Alrighty then, folks, here we go, recapping the previous matches over in Serie A. Currently on the screen are the results. Let's take a look at them. Atalanta, big 3-2 win over Fiorentina. 2-1 win was my prediction. Napoli with a big 4-0 demolition job of Cagliari. I went with a 2-0 win. Como and Bologna could not be separated. 2-2 in the end. I went with the 1-1. Juventus, though, stumbled against Empoli. 0-0 in the end. I went with an away win. I think pretty much all of us went with an away win on that one, didn't they? Roma picked up a point on the road, got the one spot on the nose. Lazio's 2-1 winners over Verona. I went with a 2-0 win. AC Milan, though, kept up the heat. 4-0 win over Venezia. 3-1 winners in my eyes. Inter stumbled, though, against Monza, just the 1-1. I went with a 2-1 away win. Udinese, 3-2 win over Parma. Goodness gracious me, I went with a draw. And Torino did only draw against Lecce. Wow, wow, wee, wow. And what does that do to the table? Well, it's this. Look at it. Udinese, Oda bloody Thonkit. Top of the table, no defeats so far. Are they the real bloody deal? We don't know. But up there, alongside them, is Antonio Conte's Napoli. I'm loving to see them back in the mixer again. And I think they could challenge. It's going to be an interesting season with the likes of Inter and Juventus all going to be in the mixer here. And don't rule out the likes of AC Milan, Atalanta, all the big boy, the regular hitters. But what's going wrong with Roma? Oh, my days. If the season was to end today, we would say goodbye to Como, Cagliari and Venezia. But it's not. We've got a lot more action in our locker. And speaking of action, why don't we have a little look at the Super Brew then, shall we? How'd you like that? Manalo's up there with 13 points. Alex Weller's alongside him. And then here he is. Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend. It is me. That's right. 11.5 points on the docket. Alongside Macca, alongside the Mexican Sniper, alongside Jimmy Watton. And then the chasing bloody pack. If you see your name in there, do me a favour and smash the old Lacarino. And of course, let's take a look at the overall leaderboard. Oh yes, you are not misreading. I am up there in 6th. I'm a big mover, up 3 spots to number 6. But Macca, hot to trot, 9 spots up to number 8. But the top 2 are non-movers with Raymond Reddington and Alex Weller up there, flexing their prediction brains into match day number 5. It is a marathon or a sprint, guys. So don't get ahead of yourselves. I'm not getting ahead of myself. But anyway, that's the situation in the Super Brew. What else is going on? If you want to join in with the Super Brew, how about this? Take a little look. There's the link right there. Absolutely free. I'm excited. You're excited. But of course, you're not as excited as me because we've got some absolute ding-dong games coming at you right here, right now. That's right, folks. We've got some absolute Bobby Dazzlers here, including the Milan derby, the first of the season. We've got Juventus against Napoli. Wow, wow, wow. What a season we've got on our hands. What a day, what a weekend of football we have on our hands over in Italy. But we are going to start with a trip, if I am ready. Where are we heading? We are heading to Cagliari, that's right, as they take on Empoli, coming at you on Friday night. That's right, well, Friday evening. The Unipol Dumas, that is right. Look at that venue. Of course, the Cagliari managed by David Nicola up against Empoli and Roberto Di Vaesa. Cagliari struggling right now, 19th in the table. They could go down this season. Just 1 win in the last 6 matches. Up against Empoli, doing all right in 8th. Unbeaten in the last 5 now with 6 points for the season as well. Again, early days, 22 times they have played those since 1998. We have got 7 wins for Cagliari, 10 for Empoli, 5 draws between the two sides. Cagliari on the back of a 1-0 win last time around, of course, but that was over in Empoli. The last time they played over at the Unipol Domas, it was a 0-0 draw. In fact, Cagliari hasn't beaten Empoli in at least the last 3 times they've played at their home turf here, and they haven't scored a goal though in the last 2 matches, losing to Lecce and Napoli in quick succession. Empoli, though, draw kings, drawing 3 of the last 4. They'll fancy the chances of getting something out of this game. 5-4 is your Cagliari, 11-5 is your Empoli, 23-10 is the draw. Am I sitting on the fence? I think I do. It does smell like a draw. Going to go with a draw. Realistically, Empoli will continue to be happy with that because that's another point in the bag. And Cagliari will struggle because that is not what they need. They need to be winning their homes. Unfortunately, this one goes through the fingers. Also on Friday, we head over to Verona, that's right, at the Stadio Marcantiano Bettegodi, as Verona, up in 7th right now under Paolo Zanetti. Could be a bit of a dark horse to cause some problems this season. 50% form for them right now, winning 3 and losing 3 over the last 6. Up against the Torino side, who also have had a very good start to the campaign, sitting in 5th. Unbeaten under Paolo Vanoli, that's right. Now, I've played 34 times these two sides since 1997. There's been 6 wins for Verona, 15 wins for Torino. There's been 13 draws between the two sides heading into this one. With the most recent match at this very venue, it was a 2-1 win for Torino back in May 2024. Torino are unbeaten against their oppositions over the last 6 matches, picking up 4 wins and a couple of draws. They come into this on the back of a draw, as a 0-0 draw against Lecce, with Verona losing to Lazio most recently over in the Stadio Olimpico. But the odds for this, 13-8 is your host, 12-5 is the draw, 31-20 is your away win. Going with the host here to cause an upset perhaps against Torino, back in Verona. We're flying high. Let's head over to Venezia now as the hosts take on Genoa. Do you know what I mean? Venezia currently struggling all the way down there at the bottom of the table, rooted with just 1 point for the season. Up against the Genoa side sitting in 11th with, of course, Alberto Gilardino in the dugout. Now, they played 16 times since 1997, 2 wins for Venezia, 8 wins for Genoa, and there's been 6 draws between the two sides. However, Venezia without a win in the last 5 with just 1 point for the season. Against the Genoa side, just 1 defeat in the last 6. As Genoa try to cook up a storm this time around over in Serie A. Last time they played in competitive action at this very venue was a 2-1 win for Genoa, who did the double over Venezia when those two sides were last in the same division, which was in Serie B back in the 22-23 season. But Genoa are unbeaten against them over the last 4, couple of wins and a couple of draws. Speaking of draws, Genoa did draw with Roma most recently. That was back on the 15th of September. Venezia 1-2-3 games now without scoring a goal and back-to-back defeats. The odds for this one, 11-5 is your Venezia, 5-4 is your Genoa, 11-5 is the draw for performance away win. You know what I mean. Going to go with a 0-0, which doesn't really give much boost for Venezia. No goals still, but a point on the road for Genoa, I'm sure they'll take. One of the games of the day, if not the games of the season, is over at the Allianz Stadium. It's Juventus under Thiago Motta up against Antonio Conte's Napoli, who have, despite a bit of a bumpy start to the campaign, look pretty much impressive right now. Juventus, 67% form for them right now under Motta, 4th in the table, 8 points for the campaign, up against the Napoli side, who are 2nd with 9 points following 3 successive wins at the top of the table. Of course, they have played 58 times since 1993, 28 wins for Juve, 19 wins for Napoli, 11 draws, of course. Juventus, are they in action this week? They are in action against PSV, so a bit of a distraction, perhaps, but Napoli have got a whole week to prepare for this game. But the last time they played at this very venue was a 1-0 win for Juventus, who have just won once in the last 6 against Napoli, who've got 4 wins at the last 6 as well, looking pretty impressive. Napoli on the back of a 4-0 win over Cagliari. That's 3 wins on the spin, just 1 goal conceded in those last 3 matches. Juventus, they're airtight at the back, yet to concede a goal this season, but they do come into this on the back of successive 0-0 draws. The bookies for this one is 6-5 is your Juventus, 23-10 is your Napoli, 12-5 is the draw. I think I'm backing Conte's boys in a 2-0 win, which of course will cause some major reverberations across Italy and Serie A. Lecce, the venue now, as we end Saturday's games on the 21st of September as the Via del Mare. Lecce under Luca Gotti in 13th right now with 4 points for the season, up against Parma in 12th with also 4 points under Fabio Peccia. Played 28 times since 1993. We've got 3 wins for Lecce, 16 wins for Parma. There's been 9 draws between the two sides. Coming into this one, Lecce last played at this very venue against Parma was back in November 2023 in the Coppa Italia. The 4-2 win for Parma, but the last time they played in the league at this very venue was a 4-0 win for Lecce. That was back in November 2021. Lecce on the back of a 0-0 draw against Torino. Back-to-back clean sheets for Lecce heading into this one. Parma on the back of a 3-2 loss to Udinese, and that has been back-to-back defeats. coming at you. The odds for this one, we're looking at Lecce 6-5 for the victory, 11-5 is the Parma, 23-10 is the draw. Yeah, going with Lecce, swinging it. Swinging for the hosts. 1-0 win, points in the bag, and up the table they go. Fiorentina, the venue now, as we head over to the Stadio Armento Franchi, as Rafael Palladino's Fiorentina, currently in 14th spot, take on Lazio under Marco Baroni, who are in 6th in the table at the moment. Now, of course, coming at you, Fiorentina just 1 win in the last 6. They are the draw kings, picking up 4 draws of the last 6. Up against Lazio, who have won 1 match in the last 4 matches, with 58% form over the last 6. Now, they played 60 times, these two sides, since 1994. 14 wins for Fiorentina, 35 wins for Lazio. There's been 11 draws between them. Fiorentina did beat Lazio last time they played at this very venue was back in February 2024. However, that was their one and only win in the last 6 against Lazio. So Lazio have got the recent run of the green, bar the last game, and Lazio picked up a 2-1 win over Verona most recently. Atalanta did beat Fiorentina, 5-goal Bobby Dazzler, just this past weekend. The odds for this one, 13-10 is your Fiorentina, 21-10 is the draw, 9-4 is your away win. It's a tight one. It is a tight one, but I'm going to back Fiorentina to bounce back, end those draw runs, and get 3 points in the bag against a high-flying Lazio. Next up, we go to the Briatano Stadium as Monza hosts Champions League bound or Bologna, with Vincenzo Italiano in the dugout for Bologna, Alessandro Nesta in the dugout for Monza, who currently find themselves in a bit of a dip in form right now, down into 50th with just 3 points for the season, without a win in the last 5 for Monza. Up against Bologna, also struggling with form, but they are both drawing 3 of the last 4 matches, so could smell like a draw, this bad boy. 58% form for Bologna, but they have played 4 times since 2002, a win apiece and a couple of draws as well. So quite tight between the two sides, and quite tight in the table, with both on 3 points, just a couple of spots separate them in the league, and both sides come into this on both kind of similar kind of form, a couple of draws apiece. So what we're going to do, what's going to separate these two sides? Well, the bookies, they go with, what are we going on here? We're going 2-1 as your Monza, 7-5 as your Bologna, 21-10 is the draw. It stinks like a high heaven draw. I'm going with it. 0-0 on the line. Alrighty, let's go over to Roma now, as Roma try to stop the table toppers Udinese. That's right, the surprise table toppers. Can they be in the mixer for the whole season? Well, we'll see about that. Daniel De Rossi struggling right now into 16th with just 3 points for the season. They've drawn 4 of the last 5 up against the Udinese side. They've won 4 of the last 5, 75% form for them. Now, they've played 64 times, these two sides, since 1993. 36 wins for Roma, 70 wins for Udinese. It's been 11 draws between the two sides as well. But Roma have the best recent record. They've won 3 on the bounce against Udinese, including the last time I played at this very venue was a 3-1 win back in November 2023. Roma, though, drawn 2 in succession up against the Udinese side, who've scored, 6 goals in the last 3 games combined. The bookies will probably find this a little tricky, but they are backing Roma 6-4 on for the victory. 10-3 is the draw. 10-3 is also your away win. I made my pick without realising just how good Udinese have been, but I am backing Roma at home. They should, just even though Udinese are top of the table, they should come out on top. Otherwise, some heads may roll. Alrighty, let's head over to Milan now, as we have another absolute Bobby Dazzler on the agenda. It's all eyes on this on Sunday, September the 22nd. It's the Milan derby. Inter up against AC. That's right, the Giuseppe Meazza is the venue. Played 77 times these two sides since 1993. Overwhelmingly going in favour of Inter. 34 wins compared to 24 for Milan, and 19 draws as well. Now, Inter sit 3rd in the table with 8 points for the campaign under Simone Inzaghi, unbeaten in the last 5, however, drawing 3 of that last 5. Up against the AC Milan side, just 1 defeat in the last 6, and they've actually got better form despite more wins in the last 3 sort of thing. They have 67% form up against Inter's 58, but they find themselves in 10th in the table with 5 points on the docket. Of course, another busy week for both these two sides. Both are in Champions League action, with Milan taking on Liverpool over in Italy, with Inter having to travel. Going to Man City, a couple of heavyweight crunch clashes. Milan on the back of that 4-0 win over Venezia. Inter with that 1-1 draw against Monza. The bookies, 11-8 on is your Inter, 7-2 is your AC Milan, 14-5 is the draw. Another tight one to call. I'm expecting some goals here, plenty of them. Sitting on the fence though, as Inter, I don't think clicked into gear yet. AC Milan also a little bit wobbly, but scoring goals. So going to sit on the fence with a 2-2 draw. And then finally, folks, is Atalanta taking on Como, coming at you on Monday night. That's right, Atalanta managed by Gianpiero Gasperini currently find themselves in 9th up against the Como side managed by Cesc Fabregas, who's finding it life difficult in the top flight. Pretty shitty, sitting in 18th with just 2 points for the season. Yet to get a win. 25% form for them right now. They've drawn 3 of the last 6. Up against Atalanta side, who've won 2 out of the last 4. Now, they've played 5 times, these two sides, since 2003. What have I done here? 4-0 win it was for Atalanta. 4 wins over the last 5 against Como. 1 draw between the two sides. Now, the last time that they played at this very venue was a 2-1 win for Atalanta all the way back in November 2003. It was in Serie B. It's been a while since these two have played competitively. Fiorentina did lose to Atalanta most recently, with Como packing a 2-2 draw against Champions League Bologna. The odds here 2-1 on is your Atalanta, 31-10 is the draw, 21-4 is your way win. Now, it's on the screen there. 2-0 win in favour of Atalanta for me on this one. That's, of course, completes my pack picks. Make sure you get your own picks in as well. We're using the link on the screen right about now. Of course, and see if you can predict me, the Prediction King. I don't think you can. There's the challenge. Challenge has been laid down. Come back at me next time around. Of course, subscribe, smash the like. Catch you later. But until then, guys and girls, we are done.